Welcome, everybody, back to the Core Camping World Truck Series. I am your host, Dylan, and well, not literally beside me, but in the virtual world, we're sitting next to each other, is my co host, Kevin. Go ahead and say hello to the internet, Kevin.
Hello, hello. Maybe one day, if the core ever gets big enough, we'll be sitting next to each other. But right now, it's still just virtually. Yep, we're here at New Hampshire. 2 rounds left to go before the core Camping World Truck Series playoffs begin, and there are 16 drivers still mathematically eligible, fighting over 12 spots. And I think one of the main things worth noting in the standings is currently between 11th and 12th. There's a 1 point difference as we got two drivers tied for 11th, which is Thaddeus Marshall and Wes Fuller, and Zachary Woods, our resident pastor, not a pasture. He's not a lane of grass. He's only 1 point behind. Yep, everyone on down to Wade Patterson is still in with a chance at getting in this championship and fighting for a title within the remaining weeks. But we'll see how it shakes up after this round.
Yeah, so far we are at New Hampshire. It is a 1.03 mile track. It is flat as well. So you're going to see a lot of downshifting come into play as I do these races in the trucks for the officials. And I can tell you, you have to downshift to third gear just to get the car or truck, I should say, to rotate through the whole corners. Hurry up, get back up to fourth as soon as you come out of the corners. But it's going to be a flat track. We got 20 plus people out here, almost pushing 30. So we're going to see a lot of people running the wall, the inside, and all the way down on the flattest part of the track. So hopefully we get to see a lot of green flag runs and possibly even green flag pit stops, as this race is only 90 laps.
Yep, as we go through qualifying right now, I think I'll let you, if you want to say, because I wasn't here last week, as I think the viewer will be able to tell here, what exactly happened? Refresh my memory. What exactly happened at Eldora worth noting? 'Cause I know it was quite a good race.
Oh, it was just an amazing race. They started out the night with heats, and throughout the whole practice, you had Cody McCauley and Carl Handwerk, the co-owner of Core Racing League, got down there with everybody and actually ran with everybody. And come feature time, you found out who was really good at dirt and just wanted to be out there just to have some fun. As Carl Handwerk was able to come out and score the win and a one race off Core Truck Series debut. It is not a win and you're in, but
Nope.
having him win that race last week kind of dampening up the cushion. But John Olette still holds the points lead as of yet. But tonight we are going to see a couple of new guys as Jared Lindsay in the 018. He's going to make his debut. And we covered this last night in the IndyCar series uh we that I ended up broadcasting last night. Nick Nickerson is making his debut in the truck series, and a very, very big welcome back to him as well. Same with Taryn DeFelice, I believe.
Uh, the yeah, the Felice sounds about right.
DeFelice,
Taron.
DeFelice. Yeah, he is a fellow. He actually took over the broadcast for our Sunday night over in Core Racing League. So make sure you find HSR and give them a share and a subscribe so that way you guys can see myself, Carl Handwerk, and anybody else that does run Sunday nights come out here and run in the Premier Series. It is different tracks, different cars every week, so that's always a fun task. But last week you seen cars running the inside, the outside, the middle, wherever there was grip, and by the end of that 75 lap feature, which they ended up calling early due to people not having enough gas, they they were fighting for every position noted, and you've seen a lot of people wall riding, trying to get that car to stick wherever it could and wasn't able to. But now we're back on asphalt and concrete. So now we're going to see these guys try to stretch out more points as the weeks come down to an end before playoffs start.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Take a quick look at the chat here. Love that the bot always follows every live stream you do. It's always cool to see. But anyway, yeah, we're taking a look at the times right now. While we've done that little recap, Mark Gonzalez, who is a driver that's currently on the bubble, needs a good strong performance. He is currently sitting in pole position, along with Nick Nickerson in second, Brandon Robinson third, Jared Lindsay, the debutant, along with Nick Nickerson fourth, and John Cornell, current points leader and currently locked in your top five. Looking to see who else is currently on the track. We got the 61, the 87, and the 88 all taking laps here. But I think at least the 66 on a second run here. So we'll see what he can do along with Triple Zero. I think his head at least once, but I think he may have pulled behind the wall. So 61 about to cross the line here at the very least. We'll see what he can do if he's actually improved on his run here. Yes, he did. He goes P14 for Zachary Woods. So he'll be 14, split between Brendan Poult and Joseph Sullivan. And he'll be, I think, with about 50 seconds to go here, unless someone makes a quick dash for the pit lane, I think this is what the order is going to be like for the race, with Mark Gonzalez getting that one crucial point for being the fastest man on in pole position.
Yeah, that is going to be the story of his decade if he can pull off the miracle and hold on to the top 12. But he does have Zach Woods kind of clawing at his back bumper to get into that top 12. But before we get ready to go racing, I'm going to go ahead and bring in our resident pastor, Mr. Zachary Woods. He is going to give tonight's invocation. Zach, this is Kevin and Dylan in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, I do.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and let you switch your mic if you need to, and we'll let you
Yep.
get underway.
All right, let's pray together. Almighty God, I thank you for iRacing and the technology it brings to bring all kinds of people together under the shared passions of racing. And Lord, as we take on virtual New Hampshire tonight, I pray that all the drivers of these trucks are patient and filled with wisdom. And I pray that we put on a good show for all the people that are watching. We thank you, and all the glory and honor goes to you. And as we pray in Christ's name, amen.
And thank you for
And
that, Zach. And hopefully, we'll be able to talk to you later tonight in this race. And we wish you the best of luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, that was our senior or resident pastor coming into the booth for us to give us tonight's invocation. But before we get ready to go green, I'm gonna go ahead and run down the qualifying results here. As right now we have Mark Gonzalez in P number 1, Nick Nickerson in P number 2, Randall Robertson, our only multi-winner of the season, in P number 3, Jared Lindsay, another newcomer in P number 4, John Ouellette in 5th, Cody McCauley in 6th, Jim Ott in 7th, Ricky Gonzalez in 8th, Jason Arison in 9th, Thaddeus Marshall. Big congratulations to him as he did get married last
oh,
week. So big congratulations to him and his wife, and welcome back.
Miss and Miss Marshall.
And yeah, is starting off in P number 10. Mark Thomas in 11th, Carl Thompson in 12th, Joseph Sullivan in 13th, Zach Woods in 14th, Brendan Polt in 15th, Josh Holmes in 16th, Taryn in 17th, 18th is David Modispaw, 19th is Wade Patterson, 20th John Crane, 21st Brad Bubel, 22nd is Jeremy Lyon Watkins, 23rd is Joe Marant, 24th, Patrick Cooney, Matt George in P number 25, and rounding out your 26 car field is the number 053 of Jimmy Ensley.
Mm-hmm. That will be the 26 car field here, as we are now getting the lights here. Bob's going to have a pace lap. I believe it's going to be 2 pace laps, as it's a pretty short track around here. And we're going to get all situated here, ready to go. I do love, I'm going to say this right now before we have a quick stagnant in the action. Love the alliteration between Nick Nickerson and Randall Robinson. Very buttery name there, where it just runs into it perfectly. So
Oh,
good
yeah.
on you for your parents giving you those good names
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Not saying anyone else's names are bad, just that good alliteration.
Will say out there in the chat if you have a favorite driver that you want to see more of, let me know in the comments and I will schedule on back through the field. But so far, looking at the
Ooh,
chat, we have
threat level Midnight Motorsports sends his regards of hello.
Yeah, I do. That is one of my teammates running in Ghost Cup Series on Wednesday night. Zach Woods and David Modispaw run in the Ghost Cup Series. I was not able to start with the Ghost Cup Series as of yet, but looks like only one lap to
Oh,
green.
pace car in. Yep.
Barney has the green flag in his hand up in the air, and they are green, green, green. Here we go for 90
Oh,
laps.
the line there. I see how Wade Patterson just got rear-ended there, and I think he may have hit the 27. It looks like a little bit of a stack up, but the rest of that It looks like they're clean, but I do wonder if some of those trucks have some minor damage there. Continuing on with the top battle, I just want to point that out. Big stack up on the inside line.
Yeah, I did happen to see that. As it looked like Matt George got the worst end of it, as he's got a lot of damage on the front end of the truck. But moving up here to Carl Thompson, he's on the outside, trying to look on the outside of Mr. Thaddeus Marshall. Not able to make the pass, but he's going to be staying in right where he's at. Going to move on up through the field, get a little bit more
Ooh.
TV time for the top runners here as Randall
Yeah,
Robertson.
good battle there between Cody McCauley and John Quinnell there. Quinnell on the inside line trying to make it work here. Outside line is usually prevailing. It kind of reminds me of what we saw at Iowa. You want to be on the outside, but the inside, you're going to try to use it as a bit of a pinch thing. And Brad Bell, I just want to point this out, had connection issues. He is rejoined, but he's going to be at least 2 laps down, going on 3 before he gets behind that wheel. So he's losing a lot of daylight.
And
Luckily,
there is a wreck on the backstretch. Not sure exactly what happened. Not seeing any actually.
well, that may explain it with the 117 and the 24.
There's not an admin in here, so I will go ahead and throw the yellow due to not having race control in the race. So that will bring out our first caution. Not exactly sure, but we'll go ahead and rewind this just that way we can get a good replay on that crash.
Yep, that seems like a fair caution.
Looks
Yep,
like
you have those
David
controls.
gets into the outside wall and tags along with Wade Patterson. They were both off the track, but did not want to take the risk of not having race control here. So those two will most likely use their first fast repair and only fast repair with only four laps out of 90. And while I go do some race admin duties, I will go ahead and
Yeah, you
mute
may want
my
to let
mic
them
and
know. Well, I'll fill in for you while you do that.
yes, sir. I will be right back.
So he's going to go take care of that, explain what the cause of the caution was, and we will kind of ride on board here early in the pit stop race here. So I don't think many people are going to try to take a situation here to take a pit stop. We'll see if anyone pulls a voodoo. We see a little bit of a weave there, and a few drivers do like to come in, but obviously the car we're following now did not come in. Just running it over. Nick Nickerson came in along with Jared Lindsay. They decided to take a pit stop here, get a new fresh set of rubber on it. Nick Nickerson was in that top half of the field there, so quite interesting. He's throwing away all that track position for a quick stop. Other than that, though, everyone else elects to stay out, though. So, bit of an odd strategy there. I don't like the call, considering, I mean, tires and fuel are limited.
Yeah. Because then they'll see that you're doing good on 2 tires, and then they'll do it.
Yeah.
All right, we are good to go. Sorry about that, everybody. I had to take care of a little bit of race control stuff, but come to find out, we did have a race control tonight, so didn't have to worry about it. So we are good
Oops.
and clear to go.
Well, at least it's better safe than sorry. I've seen some leagues where cautions don't get thrown. Remember, it happened in Iowa where a race goal kind of got booted out and caused a bit of a pickle. So it's good to be safer than sorry.
Exactly. And so far in the chat, I'm looking through here, and looks like Jeremy Coates is saying show Joe Morant's truck. So I will go ahead and do that in the number 013 Ford F-150 as he's making his debut here in the Core Racing League, and he's so far running P number 17, up 5 positions to where he's first started. So that's going to be another person to watch for, as it looks like the 27 jumped to
is
the
re-entered the
pits.
track. Yep, he is actually, remember, he's 4 laps down. He did have a slight issue with his connection. He's back in the race now. He's trying to salvage some points here. It's going to be a long road to get back 4 laps, but if people start crashing out, you can get back in this. By the way, make sure you rescale your screen here, as it would be a little bit helpful, at least on my end, to see what's going on from your perspective.
10-4, got you, good buddy. There it is.
All right,
up
good,
and
good,
going.
good. So while we were watching that, Patterson, Nick Nickerson, Wade Patterson, Jeremy Ainsley, Jeremy Lyon Watkins, Matt W. George, Jared Lindsay, and David Modspa all pitted under that caution. Everyone else from 17th on up have elected to stay out. So we'll see. I don't like throwing away track position this early, especially at a track like New Hampshire. But maybe Nick Nickerson knows something that we don't. But he's gonna have a long road to fight through to try
He
to get through that pack.
Nick Nickerson and everybody else that did end up pitting is taking that unlimited tire sets to advantage. You may never know. It could go green the rest of the way as they get ready to come off of turn number 2 here. Barney's got the green flag in his hand. Race is underway. Mark gets a good jump going into turn number 1. It's going to clear Randall Robertson. And now
Yeah.
he's got a nice little bit of a gap, but now they're 2 by 2 behind Randall as Cody McCauley is trying to make his way up to P number 2, not having a good start to the season after winning the race at Atlanta, but now we're 3 wide deep in the pack with it looks like Joseph Sullivan, Zach Woods, and oh, they're still 3 wide. Joseph
Yeah, it doesn't
Sullivan,
usually work out. Almost
Ja-
4 wide, as you could say, between the 7062 and the 77 there, and the 11, the Mike and Ike's machine. Nick Nickerson trying to make those new tires work in that number 2 machine. Already up to 14th position, making it 13th here. Going to make a good lunge. Could be 12. He is a man on a mission in that number 2 truck right now. He is carving through this field like butter. The next highest driver that pitted on that last stop is currently Wade Patterson in 16th, and he's still back there fighting in traffic. So I don't know what Nick Nickerson's got in that car right now. That may be the Gordon T-Rex All-Star scheme, just under disguise, as he is just carving through that field right now in 12, and now making a move on the 000 of Josh Holmes, who's running that like stacking penny 777 machine, which is kind of cool in its own rights. Anyway, Nick Nickerson carving his way through that field right now, just making no prisoners and taking names.
Yeah, Nick Nickerson already up to P number 10 as he's trying to work his way around Thaddeus Marshall. He's going to use the number, looks like 50 of Mark Thomas as a pick for Thad. He's going to try to make it a 2-for-1 going through 3 and 4 alongside with Mark Thomas on the inside. Mark getting stuck on the outside and Nick Nickerson move him up to P number 10 as he's going to try to make it P number 9.
I'm actually shocked no one's trying to be a 4 in this side right now and trying to really get low. We just saw the 86 team do that, but no one's really ran that low line that he likes. It seems like everyone wants to stay high to the walls. It almost looks like that car behind that was fighting Nick Nickerson, Mark Thomas, almost smacks the wall there. We've got a little scully off exit. But yeah, no one's running that super low side like he is. And he's getting free real estate and clean air to kind of make his work. So I'm just shocked that someone maybe defensively has not gone low and tried to take his line, but I guess they just want to run their own race this early in the race.
Yeah, Nick Nickerson knows.
Oh, he drifted up the track there.
As he almost got collected with the number 74. Able to keep the truck underneath him. But now I think is where he's going to just sit and relax and let those tires a little bit cool down just a little bit as Nick going to say, no, thank you. Going to try to work his way around the number 74 for P number 9 or 8 or 7. Excuse me. Sorry.
Yep. And again, he'll have the tire advantage throughout because next if it goes green to the next pit stop window, he will be able to kind of go slightly longer and then have fresher tires on instant. So again, I was questioning his decision making when he pitted, but so far he's kind of proved me wrong. He doesn't really net gained, but he's putting himself in a position where he could net gain.
Yeah,
the only thing worth noting, sorry to cut you off, I just want to say, Mark Gonzalez is leading currently laps, and true, I don't think, I will confirm in my rule book right now, but there is no points for leading any lap. Actually, there is one for leading this one lap, but known for for max laps is what I was wondering. So that's another point for Mark Gonzalez in the playoff hunt. So put 2 to his total and helping him out at the very least.
Yeah, that's going to help Mark as he, 1, led a lap, 2, qualified on pole.
Jim Ott. Oh, sorry. Finish your point. I was just noticing Jim Ott make a lunge in the background, but continue.
With Mark Gonzalez qualifying on pole and leading a lap, that's going to open up the door for Mark to possibly jump up more positions in the point standings. Excuse me, as we have a battle between the 04 of Jim Ott and the 81 of John Ouellette. John Ouellette's on the outside, Jim Ott on the inside. 2 Johns going at it, or actually Jim Ott and John Ott, excuse me. Jim still running that low line like Nick Nickerson, but look as we talk now, Nick Nickerson has gotten around Jason Harrison and is now on the back bumper of the number 7 of Ricky Gonzalez. and he's going to try to make his way around him as Ricky just lets him on by and move Nick Nickerson up to P number 6. Welcome back, Nick. Now we're going to see if he can make his way back up to the front as these top 4 have pulled away to a little bit over a
Yeah.
2-second gap.
There's also a pretty big gap between the last car on that train we're currently watching here with Josh Holmes and Taron DeFlassi. He'll probably correct us eventually. But yeah, there's a bit of a gap forming there, about 1.3 seconds. So it's kind of a have and have not situation. As it's like you're in one pool or the other pool. And as we kind of look at the track map on the side, first car could be going one lap down is Matt W. George. He's still about half corner away, but knowing how long green flag runs are, he could be caught sooner rather than later and could be a little bit of a pick that could help Randall or Cody, but we'll deal with that as we get. As we see Nick Nickerson now attacking still the 81 machine to John, and he's now up to 5th position, and now he's going to be fighting Jim Ott here. So he is carving his way through this field. Every time I look at his laps, as Cody McCauley's actually going to move on Randall Robinson. So battle for second there. McCauley has gotten around Randall Robinson. He's to cut back his battle here as Cody's now taking second. Randall Robinson down to 3rd in the Joker machine. And again, just I think right now, if I was a crew chief right now, I'm looking at what Nick Nickerson's doing right now. And I'm making the point that fresh tires matter at the very least. And it may be something worth noting if there's a late caution or a late stint.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's something at least be in the back of my mind. And I guess I'll pose the question to you. You've raced so many probably races in iRacing. Have you ever had like a run? I know we keep talking about Nick Nickerson, but ever had a run? Is I think something's actually happened between Harrison and Gonzalez. Sorry, yeah, just to finish that point.
Look here, Ricky. Actually, Ricky got passed by Jason Arison here, so move Jason up to P number 7. Move Ricky Gonzalez back to P number 8. Looks like their trucks are still clean, so no damage between the two of them. But now Ricky
Yep.
Gonzalez is under attack from the number 66, and I think at this point Ricky is just trying to save what he can and be where he needs to be. But looking closer at Ricky Gonzalez's truck, he's got a little bit of
yep.
damage.
That's where that happened because Harrison, I looked in the replay on lap 19. He went too deep in the one and he gave the old bumper to Mr. Ricky Gonzalez and kind of sent them up the racing surface. He was able to keep it clean, but yeah, he drifted at least a little bit through one. And it's good that at least Ricky Gonzalez was able to keep 8th because more shunts like that, and usually you end up wrong way around instead of keeping the position in 8th position.
Yeah.
But I think Harrison kind of knows the back of his head. He's got one coming, at least the very least, be racing hard in reverse.
Yeah, Zach Woods currently under fire from the number 053 of Jimmy Inslee. Jimmy running that flat part of the track while Zach Woods is running the higher side, but Zach's got a little bit of front right damage on that number 17 Toyota machine, or 61 Toyota machine. So look for him to possibly, when he goes into pit road, not take his fast repair and just run with the little bit of damage that he has. Hopefully it's not sufficient and he can get it done and fixed before he goes one lap down. But so far he's defending his position in P number 16 over the number 053, but now he's got Matt George in front of him. He's going to use him as a pick for the number 053. They get around him nice and clean, and now it's free reign track up in front of the number 61.
Mm-hmm. And again, I maybe Zach, I'll kind of counteract your point there because remember they do get 2 fast repairs. So if he thinks that truck is ailing really weakly, he may be in position. He may want to burn it because it's not like he just has one where it's kind of a risk reward situation. He's got 2, so if he really feels like that truck's ailing and then a big pile, let's say a restart happens and he has a big pile ahead of him, he may be able to use the second one right there. So it's up to the driver, and different drivers prefer different things, but it's at least something to keep in the back of the mind. But speaking of things in the back of the mind, Mark Gonzalez has pulled a 2-second gap on Cody McCauley. He's in another postcode, as they would say, as Cody is under attack. But I think Nick Nickerson's on the back of Randall Robinson here, so we'll see if the 2 machine can make something happen on the 30. As he actually started to make something happen.
He's actually running that inside line all the way down by that yellow line, putting those left side tires on that yellow line. Cleared him going down the backstretch. Now he's going to start working on the number 162 of Cody McCauley. And you see what kind of line Nick Nickerson is running. And if you guys ever want any coaching or help throughout a season in any car, talk to Nick. Talk to anybody in the Core Racing League. We are all very welcome to help with anything you would like to do. I do a little bit of help with everybody inside of Core with the vintage cars. Nick is just all around good at anything, so I'll go to him for anything. Uh, Ricky, Mark, Carl, Eric, anybody that you see on there, they're always welcome to help anybody in the time of need. As we got our first scheduled pit stop, I believe, in the O
Yep.
number 013, taking his first pit stop of the day.
Yes, he is. He's taking his first pit stop here, a little bit farther back in the pack there, but he is taking his first stop. Now, it does make me wonder, as we do see monkey do, as they would say, and we're close to the fuel window, so we'll see if anyone else elects to kind of pull down here, maybe this time, next time by, and make it happen. Now, Nick Nickerson's got around Cody McCauley for second as they're fighting hard here, and it looks like the number 2 machine's going to try to clear going into one. He'll successfully clear on the backstretch, so Nick Nickerson's up the second. He started on lap 4, he came in the pit. The restart happened on lap 6. He was think down to 16th, 17th, I'm not wrong. And now he's up to second position. He's gained 15 spots in the handful of 22 laps, give or take.
Yeah, that's what you
20.
call a drive, especially, making up all those positions and keeping it clean as well. You will see Nick Nickerson make a later pit stop, about 4 laps difference than what these leaders are gonna do. So Nick Nickerson will inherit the lead here, and then Wade Patterson, I believe, will be P number 2
Mm-hmm.
as we're looking at this field. And Cody McCauley's just kind of letting Nick run away with it. He's trying to catch up to Mark Gonzalez, but deeper back in the field, we got a battle between the 81, it looks like, and the 74 of Jason Arison, as
Mm-hmm.
they're kind of close, but it looks like Taryn, looking at
Yeah.
the track here, Taryn in the HSR racing machine battling pretty good with the number 50 of Mark
Oh,
Thomas, and he's got a little bit of rear end damage, so something that you don't really want to have on your truck. But with it being a 1 mile flat track, arrows should not really pay dividends to your truck.
if you want a good battle right now, you want Marshall, Lindsay, and Gonzalez. I just saw Thaddeus Marshall give the chrome horn to Mr. Ricky Gonzalez, as they're still Lindsay and Marshall are currently fighting. But next routine schedule stop there, Randall Robinson, known for his undercut, he's coming in on lap 29, and he'll be one of the first main pack drivers to come on in and take his scheduled stop. But yeah, Marshall and Lindsay fighting hard here for 9th position. Remember, Thaddeus Marshall is currently tied on the cut line with his points, and he needs as many points as he can get, because right now, one of the drivers below him by about 16 points is Mark Gonzalez, who's currently leading this race, and that could be a big old point swing if he can't get that car in gear.
Yeah, looking at these last couple laps that I've watched this battle, looks like Jared Lindsay is getting a little bit loose on the inside. Finally gets clear of Thaddeus Marshall, dove it in a little bit deep, and
No answer back.
drifted up
Kind of
the
shocked.
track. But here comes Thaddeus Marshall on his inside now. Going to tuck back in behind him. Jared's going to throw a little bit of a haymaker block, and that's something that you don't really want to do in front of these guys, as they're not afraid to give you the chrome bumper and make it a little bit spicy for the entertainment.
Yeah.
But so far, Jared Lindsay is going to pull away from the 87 of Thaddeus Marshall. And now Jared's going to try to start working his way up the field. Now he's going to start looking at the rear bumper of the number 66, as Jared almost gets chopped by the 87 there. So good awareness by the 87 of Thaddeus Marshall. But now Jared is on the back bumper. On the outside, actually, now going to cut underneath the 66 and is going to try to make this pass on Carl Thompson.
Yeah, that is, again, Jared Lindsay pitted under that stop window along with Nick Nickerson and Wade Patterson, so he's got slightly fresher tires by about 6 laps over the drivers he's currently battling his position. So it may be something that's playing out into his game here as he makes a move on Mr. Carl Thompson. And now Carl Thompson going to be under pressure from the 87 machine of Thaddeus Marshall. And it's a situation where you don't want to sit behind Wade or sit behind and kind of just watch, as Cody McCauley is actually pitted on lap 33 here, so he's going to be another driver that's elected to pit here. But to finish my point, you don't want to sit back and watch, but sometimes you're in your different battles. You're fighting your different wars. So you kind of just have to take them as they come and just sit there and accept defeat when you're necessary for the greater good. Because, true, Marshall and Thompson could fight Lindsay, but they're just going to kill the tires worse, and they're going to have to come in a lot earlier than Mr. Lindsay if they do that. So it's a risk-reward situation, and it's something worth noting as Nick Nickerson elects to come in on lap 34 before a bunch of other drivers, including our current leader, Mark Gonzalez. And we do have John Quinnell coming in along with Carl Thompson. So I think there's a scheduled stop window. So I would not be shocked if you see Gonzalez, Ott, Arison, a lot of the drivers elect to pit this time by after seeing a lot of drivers make the break on 34.
Oh, excuse me, as you caught me right in the middle of a yawn, but yeah, Nick Nickerson kind of undercutting there was able to go a couple more laps, but Mark Gonzalez, I believe, might have wanted to go into pit road there, but he had the number 11 on his inside, was not able to get down to the inside. So now maybe you might see the
He's pitting
number.
this time by.
Okay, so now you see Mark No Show Gonzalez going to take the dive into pit road here, and that's going to let the 30 of Randall Robinson get his lap back. So, or actually, yes.
Yep, Randall Robinson getting his lap back. He pitted on lap 30, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, and he's going for that super undercut. And I wonder, because I was watching the lap times the last couple laps between Gonzalez and Nick Nickerson, and Nick Nickerson was cutting into that lap time slowly but surely. He was running a tenth faster, 2 tenths faster each lap, and now he's got that 1 lap fresher on in lap and out lap. He may be able to jump Mark Gonzalez here, so we'll have to keep an eye on the inside and outside here, and keep an eye on that number 2 machine, and keep an eye. But Jim Ott will take the lead and will at least lead 1 lap here in the number 4 machine. We'll see what happens between the 88 and the 2. 2 coming around. He's going to get around the 88 machine fairly easily indeed.
As I was trying to look for Mr. Wade Patterson, it looked like there was a 3-wide battle between the 87, the 151, and the number 7, but they kind of squared it away before I could get over to the battle. But this is going to be a fight for survival, as you see the 7 of Ricky Gonzalez getting around the number 151, as Wade Patterson has a lot of damage on their right side. Don't know if that's messing with his head just a little bit, or if he's just trying to play the long game and just ride where he can and pick up spots where he can as well.
And yeah, we'll have to see how the long game works here. Again, mental is a part of racing as well, where you think it's physical, and it is, even though maybe not as physical in virtual land as it is in real life. But mental is just as part of the game as well, where you kind of get your head psyche, you can really kind of play some damage and make some things happen here. As Wade Patterson elects to come in, meaning the only driver has not taken his first. He's already taken a pit stop, but hasn't taken his next stop so far, is Jared Lindsay, as he'll clock off a few laps here, and we'll try, if a caution were to come out, keep a majority of the field at least 1 lap down.
Yeah, I think that's what Jared Lindsay's hoping for, but as we've seen time and time again, cautions don't really happen over here, as Jared's pretty much running his car ragged, getting a little bit loose going through 3 and 4, able to keep it underneath him there through 1 and 2, but you can kind of see as he's going through the corners, his car is pushing. Not sure exactly if he's trying to get up to that high side or if he's trying to turn into the corner and it's just pushing up the track.
Big battle here between the 88 machine. Sorry to cut you off, but he is riding the back of these lap cars here, trying to get to Cody McCauley.
As he was on the back bumper of Cody McCauley, actually shoved him right in front of the 000 machine, able to keep it off of him, but now Mark Gonzalez going to make the pass on the 000, and the 000's into the wall, keeps it off of Mark Gonzalez. Good awareness by him to keep it up by the wall, but now move Mark Gonzalez back up to P number 5 as he is on his way to looking on the back bumper of the number 162, but now you got Randall Robertson and Cody McCauley as Mark Gonzalez dives to the inside, possibly going to make it 3 wide coming out of the corner. Cody McCauley thinks better wise of it.
Yeah, they're going to be fighting hard here. Oh, I can see he's trying to stick his car in there. You got to be a little bit more patient, Cody. You got to wait for it to come to you, because you don't want to end up wrecking yourself or others here in a situation and put yourself really behind the 8 ball here. But it really sucks to be sitting behind someone just watching, like, I know I can get around, but the track just isn't wide enough. You're just like, what do I have to do to get around? And you got to be patient. Play the long game. Wait for an opportunity. He's going to try to make a move on the 30 here, take that inside line, and the 30 going to fall back here, tuck back in line. Could be under pressure from the 000 machine. Could be a little bit of a 4 on the side, but he'll be a little bit too far back to make something happen. And something worth noting is Nick Nickerson was 1/10 ahead of Randall Robinson when he came out of pit lane. And now he is 2 seconds clear of Mark Gonzalez and 2.7 clear of Randall Robinson. So Nick Dickerson has just ran off into the sunset, and he is driving away. And we may have to check that car legally for certain things at the end of this race because he is flying in that machine. This is the race, a race of his own. As 88 makes a desperation clear there on that lap car, wants to put a pit between him and Cody McCauley. But yeah, Mark Gonzalez doing well here so far. But just wondering, what does he do to stop Nick Nickerson?
Yeah, as of right now, what you need is a caution and hope that Nick Nickerson is involved in that caution. But I know Nick on a racing level, and he's one of the cleanest guys that I do know. Just wants to get out here and run and keep it clean and green. As so far, we've only had one caution on lap number 4, and so far it's been Nick Nickerson leading the show. But looking back here with Randall Robertson, he's got a little bit of a battle on his hands with the number 61 of Zach Woods and the 000 of Josh Holmes, both not on the lead lap, but both one lap down. So they're trying to get their laps back, but moves Zach Woods up to P number 15 as he's trying to make his way into the playoffs. And it looks like the 76 of Joseph Sullivan goes a little bit wide, almost collects the number 000.
Yeah, they're fighting for
able to keep
position.
it
The
clean.
76 and the 000 are fighting for 13th and 14th respectively, and they're in their own little battle here, along with the 30, the 81, and the 04. So they're all actually that's
Three
the 01
wide
machine.
going through turn 1 and 2.
Actually,
Josh
he's in that battle
Holmes
as well.
putting it in the middle, making it stick where it needed to stick. But you can see just how much the truck is a little bit hard to control for the number 76 of Joseph Sullivan, as you've seen him.
0 almost chromed horn the 81 there.
Yeah, that's definitely not what you want to do, is chrome horn somebody.
Especially being one lap down. I know he's fighting hard here in his own little battle between the 76 and the 01. They're fighting for 13th, 14th, 15th, but you gotta respect the leaders a little bit here. Don't want to wreck the 81 while our current points leader trying to fend off position, but it is racing, and they all have the same right to the real estate as well. As Jared Lindsay's able to get around Ricky Gonzalez for 9th.
So Jared Lindsay back up to P number 9 on the lead lap. So
looks
with
like
him being
Gonzalez. Sorry to cut you off. Just want to say, it looks like Gonzalez, I think, took a fast spray as his rear end looks a lot cleaner than it did last time. But correct me if I'm wrong.
I will actually go down here to Ricky Gonzalez here. It's still, actually, I'll just go to Chase Cam on.
No, it's bent.
Yeah, it's still bent, so he's keeping that fast repair for whenever he really does need it, as that's not a bad strategy to play. But you did notice that Jared Lindsay did take a later pit than everybody else, so he's got the freshest tires out of everybody out here on track, as he's making his pass on the number 87. Going to make it a 2-for-1, getting past the 013 and move Jared Lindsay from 9th to 8th, as the 013 was not for position. And now he can start working his way up to the number 74 of Jason Harrison.
Yep, 013, the first car, 2 laps down in a fight with Crane and Crane is the only 2 on their lead lap, and Crane's 2.7 behind. Looking at the lap times right now, I want to come back to our leaders here for a second, just to kind of run over their times. And we actually have Jem Ott and John Quinnell fighting, so we'll cut to that battle while I go over the times of Nick Nickerson and Mark Gonzalez. Yeah, they are fighting hard here, 04 and 81. Looking pretty hard here. But looking at the times, Mark Gonzalez does have the fast lap of the race right now. And looking at his times, he gains a 10th here, gains a 10th there. So I don't think we can write out Mark Gonzalez yet. He's finding time where he needs the time, and he's slowly cutting into Nick Nickerson's lead. But not by a lot. Last lap, a 10th faster, Mark Gonzalez. As I think Tarion may have gotten to someone slightly and said, my bad. I'm not 100% what, though. But, yeah. Gonzalez slowly cutting in Nick Nickerson's times.
Yeah, Mark Gonzalez is now down to 1.2 seconds, so look for another little bit of a battle with the number 2 and the number 88, as he has cut that lead from a little over 2 seconds down to 1.2, as Cody McCauley has gotten around all the lap traffic, and he is working his way up to the front as well.
Is Nick Nickerson in traffic? Because right now Gonzalez is running clean air. Let me see if he's in traffic. No, he's got clean air truce. They're both in clean air. So, yeah, interesting to note. Gonzalez, again, slowly eating into Nick Nickerson's times. Maybe something to keep an eye on when final pit stops hit. Because since about 37 laps, it's 90 laps here. We're on 52. So the next pit stop should be the last one. So we'll see if Gonzalez can maybe try to undercut Nick Nickerson because he's making it work right now.
Yeah, that I think maybe Nick wondered exactly how his tires were going to fare. Maybe he's playing a little bit of a strong strategy, going to possibly take two tires on this final pit stop. I'm not even 100% sure if that would work.
I don't think that's a good call. That's just me though. I think I just you need all four. You cannot. Because we saw in the opening starts with Nick Nickerson, he was carving through on four tires. So I don't think you can get away with two. I think you need to take four, unless we're going like a green white checker or something, maybe. But with like 30 to go, you need all four of those tires.
Oh yeah, with 30 laps to go, I would definitely take four tires. But I will say I have lost races to Nick Nickerson and Chris Hamilton that runs the Vintage Series to those guys taking two tires and me taking four with just a short little bit of laps left in the race on a last ditch effort for a restart, and I was not able to get up and get around them for the lead. So I have lost races to people taking one or lefts, rights, and four tires all together. So
Mm-hmm.
we're definitely going to see and what they can
Oh
do.
yeah, I can agree with that point as well. I've lost many races where I bit the wrong strategy and did not play out, and you're just like, what could I have done? Why couldn't I pick the right call?
Yeah, that I am not a person that likes taking two tires, but if I know I can gain a little bit of track position, I know I can. But as it looks right now, Jared Lindsay getting around the number 76, but now he's going to be right on the back bumper of John Ouellette. And
Yeah,
now we're going to see Jared Lindsay try to make his way from seventh to sixth as we're looking
he's
at the leaders there for a little bit. And
he's
this is going to be a
sneaky
good battle.
fast. Yeah,
He
he's
is.
sneaky fast in that Chevy. He's
Oh,
slowly worked
he
his way
had
through the
nowhere to
field.
go. Almost gets in
That
the back
car,
of Matt George. Good
that's
awareness
actually
by him.
Mm-hmm. And that's actually going to help him out there because it really backed up the 81 more than it did Jared Lindsay. So it closed the gap by 3/4 tenths. So he's going to be hounding the back of 81 here. But yeah, 81, sneaky fast. He's worked his way up for the field in those fresher tires, went long in the tooth, and now he's up to a net P7. Oh, sorry, net P7 going for six.
Yeah, Jared Lindsay, we ran the 24-hour Daytona race together this year with Abhi Vishwasam, John Crane, and company, and we talk here and there. We do a lot of officials together, and now he has made his way back into the Core Racing League and passing the number 50 on the inside, not for position, but now he's going to start working on the number 04 of Jim Ott as he has put a big gap on that number 81 of John Ouellette. So move him up to P number 6 and working on P number 5.
Mm-hmm. Working his way up slowly but surely. Again, sneaky fast. Jim Ott though, 3.2 up the road though, so gonna be easier said than done. Cutting back again, looking at the battles on track, we do got I think closest margin we got is Gonzalez and Patterson, but our leader is point 0.7 behind. Mark Gonzalez is point 0.7 behind Nick Nickerson.
So Nick Nickerson is actually battling with lap traffic as of right now. Gets around John Crane here. Or actually, no, he's getting ready to go around John Crane, but he's got Carl Thompson in front of
Oh,
him as
big suck
well.
up there. 2/10 gained by Gonzalez.
He had a
Traffic's
really
really.
traffic is playing a big part too, being the leader, not knowing where the lap traffic's going to go. So you got to make sure that you know what you're doing, trying to get around this lap traffic nice and safely. As Mark Gonzalez has dropped it down to point 0.5 of a second. So now we're going to see a good battle between our top two as Nick Nickerson is going to put the number 66 of Carl Thompson on one lap down.
Just kind of making it work here, playing it smart, kind of riding his own race here. Stood in that early caution. It's been pretty caution free, which with being about 24 cars currently on track, and usually New Hampshire being a lot of short real estate, just shocked we haven't seen more wrecks than we have, which is good to see for the Core Racing League and its drivers.
Yeah, we do take pride in all the green flag racing that we do have, as it looks like it is go time for the number 88. Going to see what he can do. But so far back on track, we have the 81 under
Oh yeah,
fire
from the
from
74.
the 74. So let's see what Jason Harrison does here going into turn 3 and 4. Not able to get a good run, but maybe get a good run through the apex. Had to check up as
Nowhere
John
to
Ouellette
go. Anyone's
goes down
pitting.
into pit road. Not sure if Jason Harrison knew what he was doing, but moved Jason Harrison up to P number 7, and that's going to drop John Ouellette down the grid. But he is going to cut the field in half with this pit stop, so he should be good to go on fuel and tire as long as he doesn't burn off the right front.
Question is right now, has that been relayed to either Gonzalez or Nick Nickerson? 'Cause right now, you want to try to get that undercut. That could be the deal between winning or losing this race. And we'll see if anyone elects to jump down this time by and maybe join the 81 on that point. And already we see no one taking it that time by. So no one at the very least is daring enough to jump down yet and take a risk, as John will be the only driver doing it so far. So again, they're sticking to their strategies, sticking to their guns, but knowing the undercut could be a little bit potent, as we saw Randall Robinson battle the leader when he first came out. So it may be something Gonzalez or Nick Nickerson could do to probably put him in a chance to win this race. Other than that, McCauley, Robinson, it could get them in
As
a
we
wall
got
riding there by
John
Mike and Ikes.
Crane goes into the wall, got that on
Oh,
camera
I think something happened to
there.
Randall Robinson. No, he's pitting. Randall Robinson's pitting.
Randall
Don't ignore
Robertson
me.
is pitting, so move him into the. Let's see what position he is. P7, 8
He was
as of right
P4
now.
when he came in. P3, P4. Now he's down 8th, 9th. So he's pitting. And right now Nick Nickerson's pulling away from Gonzalez. But yeah, Levin really rode that wall high in the 1, and that Mike and Ike machine's going to have a bit of a stripe on it now.
Yeah, he may have missed his entry going into pit lane, as it looks like Mark Gonzalez gets around the number 71 of Jeremy Line Walk is nice and clean and clear. And now we're going to start seeing when do these two leaders come in, as it looks like Ricky Gonzalez, the 23 of Matthew George, and Jimmy Inslee in the 053 make their way down to make their final pit stop. But now this is where it comes. You don't want to pit too early, but you also don't want to pit too late.
Gonzalez is losing time. He should probably. I don't want to say an armchair quarterback, but he's lost 2-3 tenths, and he was just that time a tenth slower. Maybe decide to pull down here. What do you got to lose?
He does have a little bit of right side damage on that 88 Hellman's car, so look for him to possibly use a fast repair if necessary. But with that little bit of damage, maybe you can get away with it on fixing it through your pit stop while you're getting those fresh 4 Goodyear tires and that Sunoco race fuel. But still out front is the number 2, and it looks like Taryn is under battle. Not sure with what car, but it's the 01 of Brendan Polt. So Brendan Polt's going to try to get around the number
what position?
14th. Brendan Polt is P number 14th. Taryn is P number 13.
Oh, Nick Nickerson in.
Nick Nickerson is in, and the 88 stayed out. And Cody McCauley following the 2 into pit road, so these guys are making their final pit stops, and this will be a good fight to the finish.
I don't like that call, but Mark Gonzalez was gaining time by going that 1 lap longer, so maybe, again, he feels confident with those fresher tires. He wants to take that risk, so we'll see what he plays out here, but he will stay out, and I think he'd even pit this time as well.
He did go in this time and Thaddeus Marshall is in pit road along with Carl Thompson, so you're looking at the 66, 88, and the 87 all down pit lane as of right now. So far, we have David Motispaw getting around the number 50 of Mark Thompson, looking at Wade Patterson's number 151, not having the race that he wants, but he's going to dump it down pit lane as we get ready to go back up here with the number 30 of Randall Robertson.
Randall Robertson, remember, he pitted earliest out of that major top 5 stint, so see how he can shake it up here. It's currently P6. He is 3.1 on Nick Nickerson, and he was actually 3.1 back on Nick Nickerson, and he was, I think, 4.5 back when he first was coming in, so he did gain some good time using that undercut here. He's gonna have to really stay close. But Mark Gonzalez, at the very least right now, relatively close to Nick Nickerson, but I think
he is actually right on the back bumper of Nick Nickerson. So
because Mark Gonzalez had a 3-second faster pit stop than Nick Nickerson did. So that 3 seconds really negated whatever advantage the undercut had. So game on for these two.
Yeah, that's going to be game on. But as of right now, we have the number 04 of Jim Ott and Jared Lindsay. Our top two still have to go down pit road. Going to jump over to Jim Ott as he's got a .8 second lead over Jared Lindsay in the number 018. Jared able to extend his fuel so much longer than anybody else in this race, but I don't think he can make it 20 more laps on that tank of fuel.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen crazier things happen, but I don't think there's that emergency switch that you can make happen. Is yep, 04 coming in. I know Jared Lindsay just said on Mike he's coming in, so that will be the major. Actually, Lindsay, it was H.S. Harrison that said he's coming in. So those two will come in, and we know Jared Lindsay can go. He's already gone 42. He's got not much left in the tank, so he'll have to come in probably this time or next time by, and that will re-inherit the lead to Nick Nickerson.
Yeah, Nick Nickerson is actually pulling away from Mark Gonzalez, but he's got some lap traffic in front of him as the 000 of Josh Holmes going to run that outside, and he's going to make it hard for Nick Nickerson to pass him as he dives it to the inside. Nick Nickerson getting around the number 000, and the 018 and the 77 and the 01 are all down pit road, so re-inherit the lead to the number 2. And Mark Gonzalez going to see if he can give it a last-ditch effort to catch back up to Nick Nickerson and put a good battle on for these last 20 or 17 laps.
He's fading, but he was fading early in the stint. I think he's got a good late-run car, so it could be worth noting at least to keep an eye on it. Cody McCauley is pretty close on the back of Randall Robinson here. They're fighting pretty hard. I think that's going to be close as we have on track at the very least. It's a 0.3 gap, but Cody's keeping Randall Robinson honest. His last time by, McCauley was faster by 2 tenths. They are hitting a little bit of lap traffic, so we'll see if that holds this time by. As checking as we cross the line here, McCauley was running about the same times as Randall Robinson, so they are running similar splits. So maybe worth noting near the end because that's the last stop on the podium and could really be worth noting.
Yeah, Randall Robertson is no stranger to the podium as he has won a collective 3 races on the season so far. So look for Randall Robertson to keep getting his name out there in the podium as he's running P number 3, going to work his way around the lap traffic of the number 117, which the 117 was involved in the first accident on race as I went down to do some race control administrations and we had race control. So don't have to worry about that this week as Josh Billiter is back in action in the admin booth, letting everybody know what's going on and sticking to the rules. But as we look here, Randall Robertson actually pulled away from Cody McCauley.
Yep.
And now Jared Lindsay is all over the back, or actually just got around the number 61 of Zachary Woods, and now he's going to start working.
Not for position, though.
Oh, was not. Yeah,
nope.
Yep, you're right. Jared Lindsay
he's trying to
is looking
chase down Jim Ott right now,
yes,
and he's currently 1.1 back on Jim Ott. So bit of a harder road to catch, but he did cut some good time in Jim Ott. I think it was 3 before pit stops happened, so he is making that work quite well.
Look at all this lap traffic in front of our leader. That's going to be harsh as Mark Gonzalez kind of has a little bit of a clean track ahead of him, but these lap guys are almost going 3 wide. If I'm Nick Nickerson, let them do battle, and you just pick and choose when you want to pass. As they're going 3 wide down the front stretch, Jason Harrison stuck in the middle, John Crane on the outside, and all the way down by the yellow line is Nick Nickerson. He is not giving any inches here tonight. Going to show his stuff, come in and show him what he can do. Able to get around John Crane, but not Jason Harrison, as Jason takes away that spot from John Crane. As
his traffic's holding him up, but the problem is the 88's also in his own little held up situation as well. So it's not like he can really capitalize because he's gonna have to get through this traffic eventually as well. But he's just behind 2 cars himself, so he's not able to capitalize on it. And eventually, once
he almost gets in the back of the number 11.
Mike and Ike
had to check up just a little bit. Gets around the number 11, Mike and Ike, John Crane. And now he's going to start working on that number 01 on Brendan Poles.
Oh, he's got pressure from Cody McCauley. Because remember, Cody McCauley's not in this battle. He's fighting Randall Robinson. My mistake. But Mark Gonzalez, though, remember, the same traffic he's going to have to fight himself through. And once the 2 gets around that last lap car in front of him, he's got a little bit of time before he gets to the 000 machine. So 88 is going to have to fight his way through this traffic, and the 2 is going to have smooth sailing to try to set away. So I think I think you could say right now the car edge is going to turn into a pumpkin soon if the 2 gets around that lap traffic as he gets around the last car, which I think is a 77 of Taron, and he is about to do it, and I think he's successfully done it. So he's now got clean track while a couple more lap cars sit in front of the 88.
Yeah,
As I think we got a big battle between Jim Ott, Jared Lindsay, and John Cornell. They are relatively close.
looking back here is Jim Ott is still out front of Jared Lindsay. Jared's running that outside and cutting it down inside to get a good run off the corner. Remember, you do have to use your shifter as these trucks do bog down just a little bit going into the corners. And I'll go ahead and let you guys listen in on this and go to
Oh,
the in-car camera of Jim Ott, as I'm pretty sure Jim Ott is shifting going through these corners.
yeah, Jim Ott. I just heard a little bit, didn't say profanity, but not too happy with the car right now, I think, as he's real fighting. Oh, Jim Ott's not too happy with Jared Lindsay and how he's attacking the corners right now.
Yeah, that Jared Lindsay looks to be on a mission as of right now. Got around the number 04 pretty cleanly. Not sure. Maybe it was because of the dive bombs that Jared Lindsay was running, or if he's just taking away the line from the 04.
Nah, it was the move in the corner. That's what I heard off radio. So it was how he was moving the corner. Lindsay said he didn't touch. Not going to really pick sides on this one. Just reporting what I heard.
Yeah, sure. It's all good. We're totally unbiased up here. We just call the races. We're not
Mm-hmm.
getting involved. We're gonna be up here watching you guys fight and battle through this whole race season. As Nick Nickerson has clean air with 6 laps to go. Mark Gonzalez still has a little bit of a feat in front of him, but now Jared Lindsay does have clean air in front of him. No lap traffic, and is going to be able to get up to the
Yeah.
number 117, which is not for
Only
position. He needs to catch up to the number 30 of Randall Robertson.
Yeah, only car he really's got left on that road is the 000 machine, and it's going to be a little bit of time before he catches him. And I think he can just kind of ride his line because he's got pretty good distance on the 74, so he doesn't really have to force the issue. While the 88's in the middle of a sandwich,
Yeah,
as you can see as we're cutting on board here, he's got 77 behind him, 013 ahead of him, and he just can't make it work. One positive is Cody McCauley is still 5.9 behind, but remember, before the last pit stop happened, the gap was about a second. It's now 3.5 seconds. Just shows how bad traffic can hit you at the worst time, and he's got through the thick of it mostly. He's got the 87 just up the road, but the 2 is 3.6 ahead. So again, unless the late caution hits, this is Nick Nickerson's win.
Yeah, that I know who's going to make it a struggle to get by him is that number 87. They are in the points battle as of right now. Is Thaddeus Marshall is in P number 12 for the points, holding on to that. He's pretty much the gatekeeper for the last spot in the playoffs. So look for Mark Gonzalez to stretch out that lead, as it
Oh, he's
looks
gonna
like
get some.
Taryn is making the move to the inside. So that's not going to help Mark Gonzalez catch Nick Nickerson, as he just lets him go on by. So I wonder if Mark Gonzalez has used his tires and was
Maybe.
not able to save as much as Nick Nickerson was.
Yeah, Mark Gonzalez, just note, Mark Gonzalez is 15th in points, currently 16 back on the cut line, but strong performance here, definitely going to help him out here at the very least.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh
it's
yeah.
going to definitely get him some good points. And remember, he's good at road courses, and that next week is the Roval, so could play into his wheelhouse at the very least. But yeah, keeping it all clean, keeping it all good. And we got 3 to go here. Nick Dixon got no real threat ahead. I think he's caught 1 or 2 lap cars, but no real pressure. He'll get around the 000 machine. And kind of looks, he's in the battles worth noting, but everyone's just kind of in their own worlds here. So yeah, Nick Dixon will take 2 to go this time by. And for debutant, looking good to win this race. And let the sun shine down on him, as they would say.
Yeah, Nick Nickerson making his name known again in the Core Racing League. Comes out last night, wins the IndyCar League race at Road America, puts on the fenders, and goes oval track racing in the Truck Series, and has shown his dominance over here. So look for Nick Nickerson to get his first career win in the Truck Series. Another late entry to the season, but now he's taking the white flag. Nick Nickerson only has one more mile to go as he goes through 1 and 2. No pressure in front and no pressure behind. And Nick Nickerson is looking to score his first victory of the season.
Yep, he's got to have 2 corners to go here. He's on the backstretch right now. 2 more corners to go, and the number 2 machine will win this race. Go through 3-4, relatively clean, gonna keep it high, no traffic ahead of him. And the number 2 of Nick Nickerson, the debutant who won the IndyCar race last night, will win the Truck Series race here at New Hampshire and play a bit of a spoiler for the rest of the field. He will win this race. Mark Gonzalez, 4.3 back, should be the next driver to cross the line here. He has successfully done it. He'll get second. Cody McCauley will get third, and Randall Robinson will get fourth. And Jared Lindsay, another debutant, should end up getting fifth here. And yeah, good race overall.
Yeah, the top 5. And then 6th is Jim Ott. And then number 04, John Ouellette in the 81 and 7th. Jason Harrison in 8th. Thaddeus Marshall in 9th. Wade Patterson in 10th. Ricky Gonzalez in 11th. Carl Thompson in 12th. Zach Woods in 13th. Taryn in 14th. Brendan Polt in, I believe, 15th. Mark Thomas in 16th. Joseph Sullivan in 17th. Josh Holmes in 18th. Jeremy Line Watkins in 19th. John Crane in 20th. And I will get the rest of the field here on the screen so you guys can see it.
Yep.
As
Continuing on, John Crane 20th, Jim Ensley 21st, David Mootspaw 22nd, 4 laps down, and the 4 drivers that took behind the wall and could not finish this race were Matt W. George, Joe Morant, Brad Boole, and Patrick Cooney, all finishing, at least on my thing, 91 laps down, but I think they pulled down different times because George and Morant were on the track at one point, but they will all DNF from this race.
all right, well that's our late race breakdown for the standings. I'm going to go ahead and move in our third place finisher of Cody McCauley. Let's see if I can find him here in chat. Yeah, I just seen his name. Where'd he go? There he is. All right. Well, this is our third place finisher, Cody McCauley, finally able to get back up into the broadcast booth. Cody, this is Dylan and Kevin in the booth. Get a copy.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, it's been a long time since we have talked to you. Kind of have an upside down season, getting the win at Atlanta and having some computer issues. But tonight you ran a pretty flawless race, finishing P number 3, keeping it on the same lap as the leaders. No wall-to-wall contact or getting into other people throughout the race. Kind of walk us through how those last couple laps fared with the lap traffic.
Ah man, just try to run a quiet race. Really didn't get any practice here this week, so came in, not really prepared to shift. So that was something different for us. Took us a long time to get used to it. I still feel like we never quite got where Mark and Nick were. So just happy to come home third. Like I said, we were quiet and kept our in there together this week. So got lucky. Just ready to get on to into the playoffs and see if we can knock some more wins off as we go back to these ovals.
Oh yeah, for sure. You did say you wanted to be able to talk to us almost every week and be up here every week with us at the end of the race. But so far, a P number 3, pretty much locked yourself into the playoffs. Not sure exactly what position you were in.
I don't think that's actually. It should. I mean, he technically had to be within 60 points of the cut line. And I don't think he's there yet. It's close, so I will have to wait till the math's update on that. But he's most likely in. So maybe not mathematically, but it's almost a 99% certainty he will be racing for a trophy.
Well, next week we do go to the Charlotte Roval. How do you feel about taking on the second road course of the season? And do you think you would have anything for Mark Gonzalez, Randall Robertson, and all these new guys coming into the league?
I don't know. The Roval and I have been real hit and miss. Not really one of my best racetracks. I'm not much of a road course guy, so we'll see. Hopefully, do a lot of the same that we did tonight. Just kind of ride around, get us a quiet top 5, and get ready for Dover. And then, like I said, when we get to Dover, it should be pretty much on from there.
Yeah, save the real racing for the playoffs. That's when you tighten the belts a little bit tighter and get through the season. That's going to be enough questions for me. Kevin, do you have anything for our third place finisher?
I actually do have one. Hold on, just give me 1 second here to kind of pull it up. It is actually is going to be a quick second here. Sorry, I can't actually find it. Never mind. Actually, I had a question, but it's not really relevant, so we'll just move on.
All right. Well, before we let you get on out of here, Mr. Cody, is there anybody you want to give a good shout out to?
Oh yeah, man! Shout out 62 Designs. Hit them on Facebook. You guys need paint work done. We do pretty much all the oval stuff, dirt, asphalt. We dabble in some of the road course stuff. Just get with me, let me know, because we're pretty much cheapest painter on iRacing right now. Everybody over at Outhouse Clothing Company, you guys get a chance, go check their website out, outhouseclothingcompany.com. Cool stuff over there they've got. Over by Gale Force, 62 Designs Racing. And you guys for doing the broadcast every week. Really really nice work.
All right. Well, thank you very much for those kind words for me and Kevin up here in the booth. Make sure you do catch us next week with the truck series going there, and make sure you guys go to the Outhouse Club Fitters as the Cody McCauley mentioned in his post race interview. And Kevin, I'll let you go ahead and bring in our second place finisher, Mark Gonzalez.
Yep, let me help if I switch over to Discord real fast. There we go. Gotta go look in the broadcast waiting room. Yep, we're gonna bring in Mark No Show Gonzalez, so we'll bring him into the booth. Mark No Show Gonzalez, or just Mark Gonzalez. It's Dylan and Kevin in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, I got a copy.
All right, good to see you here. I guess we'll start off with qualifying here. You did go the fastest in qualifying, and you looked like you had the truck to beat. So tell me, how did that truck feel, at least during qualifying and the early parts of the race? It looked like you were dialed in.
Yeah, the way my line was working, I could get a lot on pit, or I could get a lot on entry, so it made up a lot of time. So whenever they got the run off, it would just eliminate itself. So I was pretty confident on my qualifying lap and able to lead the race until Nick was catching me and all that, and his pit entrance was just amazing.
Mm-hmm. You look like you had a little bit of time there. And I guess going leading to that question, the first stint we saw obviously Nick Nixon pit on lap 4 at car was later the field, which I think Dylan will ask him later on. But we did want to point out because in the second stint after the first pit stops, you were slowly catching back Nick Nixon and you were running times slightly faster than him. So it looked like your car may have been slightly better on longer runs. Was that true, or did it feel like maybe it was kind of good all around?
I don't think my car was good on the long run. I think my car was good maybe 20 laps, but after maybe 10 laps to go before I had to pit, that's when Nick was able to, I guess, save that tire and just be able to get the run off and
Mm-hmm.
uh, get like 2 tenths every lap.
Yeah, and the traffic really didn't help you near that last stint. And I guess going to the last question, actually, last question I think I'll throw out here is now you were 16 points back of the playoffs going to this race and having this strong performance here today. It's definitely going to put you in a position where, if not ahead of the cut line, you are close to the cut line. And going into the Roval next week, your only win so far this season was at Watkins Glen. So, how do you feel with the road course next round? And do you think you can get that number 88 machine into the playoffs?
I've had a lot of practice at Watkins Glen, so I was pretty confident there. As the Roval, I haven't gotten much practice in it. I haven't even got maybe 20 laps in any car at the Roval. So I mean, I'm just gonna have to put practice in and see what I do.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess unless Dylan, you got anything else you want to add question wise?
No, you actually you asked my question that I was actually going to ask him with the Charlotte Roval. So good congratulations on your P number 2, Mark, and hopefully we see you next week.
Wait,
Well,
got to
yeah,
shout things
yeah,
out.
yeah. I was actually going to get right back to you there, Kevin.
Oh yeah. Anyway, yep. You got the floor now. Shout out anything you like, anything you want. The time is yours, and let the world know what you're here to shout.
I want to thank my family at the house for letting me race, because it's just a privilege to just race and letting you do what you do as a hobby. And then I want to thank my parents for watching the broadcast.
Okay. You love to see family interaction and family kind of letting you do your hobbies. So you love to see it. So thank you for joining us here, Mark Gonzalez, and hopefully we may be talking next week at the Roval.
Hopefully.
All right. And now, Dylan, I'll let you take our race winner here and let the debutant share his words of wisdom.
All right, moving into the booth for the second time in 2 days is the one and only Mr. Nick Nickerson making his great comeback with the Truck Series. Nick, this is Kevin and Dylan in the booth. You got a copy?
Let's go, man.
All right. Well, not gonna lie, it's a long time no see as we get to talk to you again, but this time with all four fenders on the car and on an oval. Kind of walk us through on that lap four caution. What made you want to go in and take a fresh set of tires?
Just for the hell of it. I mean, I kind of knew where I was as far as speed was, so I figured, let's have a little fun and see if I can drive through the field and kind of, see what these guys are all about. And to my surprise, I actually made it almost all, I think, up to second before we had to start pitting again. Um, just ripping around that bottom line for most of the fields. I was honestly astonished that there was any grip down there, but I think I found a way to kind of, get into the corner, and then I would shift, and I would kind of bring my car or bring the truck around a little bit, and then I was able to just gradually get on the throttle, so I wasn't like sliding too much. There was a few times kind of, back to the rear end out there, but I was able to kind of maintain the tires enough to bring her all the way to the front. And then when we cycled through for tires, had a good entry on pits. I was able to get out in the lead, and I think I got maybe a 2 or 3 second lead on Mark, but he was actually a little bit faster than I was lap after lap. And then there was at some point, maybe like within 5 laps for me to go, that we got into some lap traffic. Maybe he burned his tires up, and they were kind of dead even until we pit again. And he took 2 tires, I took 4, and at that point, I mean, it's no contest. I mean, it's just hard to race somebody on 2 tires when they have 4 tires. So that was a race, man.
Yes, it was. It was a race last night and it was a race tonight. It kind of looked like you said, he would catch you really quick, but then his tires would fall off. He kept running that mid to high line while you were wrapping the yellow line. But now we go from the oval back to a road course at Charlotte Roval. Do you think maybe you could hold off our defending Watkins Glen winner of Mark Gonzalez and make it a two in a row special before the playoffs start?
Oh man, I don't want to sound full of myself, but the road courses in stock cars is kind of my specialty. So
I
yeah,
know
we'll
firsthand about that in the
uh,
87s at Watkins Glen. So,
yeah. So I mean, if Mark wants to win that, he's gonna have to put a lot of practice in. And I'll give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I won't do any practice until next week. So I'll just jump in as is. So
Confidence.
we'll
Let's
see.
see it.
Yeah.
well, I can also vouch for Nick Nickerson. When he comes into an 87 league race for Core, he goes, "Oh, only got 2 laps of practice." And it does show at some tracks, but other tracks, being on the sim for as long as, Nick Nickerson has been on here, he knows what the cars can and cannot do. So that's going to be a tough task for these drivers next week at the Charlotte Roval. Kevin, do you have any questions for race winner for tonight?
Can't hear you. Mike's mute.
Hello?
His mic is muted.
It would be
There
helpful
you
if
go.
I unmute my mic instead
There
of
it
just
is.
talking to no one. Let's try this again. I do got one looking at the chat right now. One of the bots is asking if you're tired of being alone.
uh, it's not
Is
it's not too bad when you're sitting here in the the top podium. So
True.
I'll be all by
Well,
myself.
Success drives everything good. But I think that joke question. If you have anything you want to shout out or say, the floor is yours.
Yeah, man. Just everybody that participates in this league. I was surprised to see how clean it is. I mean, generally, New Hampshire's not a very clean race, officials or even leagues. Christ, we had one caution at lap 4, 5, 6, whatever it was, and green all the way. That's just incredible. So I hear that it was some pretty rough races in the past, but I mean,
I mean,
as long
Atlanta
as
went
every
caution free, so
oh, did it?
this
Nice.
league can keep it clean for the most part.
Yeah, as long as you have car and track combos that you can run multiple grooves. That's the key right there. But other than that, man, Carl and all the admins that do everything for these leagues, man, they do such a freaking awesome job. And hope anybody's watching. If they want to join, man. It's a ton of fun. And both Dylan and Kevin there, man. Appreciate you guys doing the broadcast. Definitely look forward to watching this one.
I will let you know Barry Christ Kistler is out in the chat saying, "Congrats to Nick. He should have this," as you did end up winning the race tonight. So, Barry, if you are still watching, Nick did end up winning. and he is always here in the broadcast, watching and cheering everybody on in the Core Racing League. So, with that
That's cool.
being said, Mr. Nick, we're going to go ahead and let you get back down there, celebrate with the guys, and possibly let them know in on a little bit of a secret for Charlotte Roval.
Yeah, man. I also told the guys that I'll be. Actually, I'll lie. I will do a couple practice laps, but I was gonna post a replay for all the guys to look at and kind of study if they want, because driving the stock cars and trucks is a whole different ball game compared to like GT3 and stuff. So everybody can look forward to doing that. They'll find that in the Discord.
Alrighty. Well, that will be our race winner of Nick Nickerson coming out dominating in his own fashion. But we'll go ahead and go through this lineup one last time as I bring these results back up. And it'll be Nick Nickerson bringing it home, P number 1 in the number 2, Mark Gonzalez in the 88 finishing second, Cody McCauley in the 162 finishing third, Randall Robertson finishing fourth in the number 30, Jared Lindsay making his debut in P number 5, Jim Ott in sixth, John Ouellette in seventh, Jason Harrison in eighth, Thaddeus Marshall in ninth, Wade Patterson in 10th, Ricky Gonzalez in 11th, Carl Thompson in 12th, Zach Woods in 13th, Taryn DeFelice, I can't remember how to say his last name, in 14th. Brendan Polt in 15th. Mark Thomas in 16th. Joseph Sullivan in 17th. Josh Holmes in 18th. And Kevin, I'll let you go ahead and take the rest of the field.
Yeah, so we were Josh Holmes in 18th, Jeremy Watkins in 19th, John Crane in 20th, Jimmy Ensley in 21st, David Mootspaw in 22nd, Matt George in 23rd, Joel Morant in 24th, Brad Booble in 25th did not start this race, and Patrick Cooney in 26th also did not start this race. That is your 26 car field here today at New Hampshire. And yeah, good racing all around. Only one caution for the incident you saw on track, and that was it. So clean racing, love to see it. Usually New Hampshire, you think I personally thought there'd be a couple more cautions, but hey, no cautions gets us out here early and keeps the drivers happy. So no real problems all around.
Yeah, that is true. But now we go back to a road course where the only time you get a caution is for a tow. So that's going to be a little bit different as we've been
And there's a limit,
majorly.
remember.
There, yes, 2 caution limit for the cautions next week is, so let's say Kevin Foster has to tow, that is 1 caution. Let's say Nick Nickerson tows another time, that is another caution, but after that there will be no more cautions. So we're going to catch that next Tuesday at 8:45 Eastern on CRN with me and Kevin in the booth. As of right now, Sunday, we have a double header on the HSR broadcasting with Taryn, as he did the race tonight, but he is our broadcaster for the Premier Series. We do have the super late models at Dirt Track of Charlotte, and I believe, I can't remember what the schedule is, but it is a oval, I believe.
For what series again?
Premier Sunday night.
Yep, Premier. I'll tell you right now if it decides to load. Never mind, the website's not updated, so.
Premier Season A schedule. So it'll be Legend cars, the Legends, the Ford Coupes at Southern National. So you got a 75 lap feature in the super late models at Dirt Track of Charlotte, and then the Legends at Southern National for 150 laps. That's gonna do it for tonight for us, Kevin, and hopefully you had a good time as I did as well in the
Did.
booth.
Good to be back in the saddle.
Yeah, it was kind of lonely up here, not being able to talk to you. But I did have Jimmy in the booth with me last week, so no harm, no foul. But that's gonna take, that's gonna do it for me and Kevin in the booth. Remember, guys out there, take care and brush your hair.